What's up, YouTube? This is True Raw Ford TV. So, I just saw the NBA's official top 15 all-time head coaches list. And 13 of those 15 picks, well, I'll put it like this. 12 of those 15 picks, I have no problem with them being on there. All right? One other coach that's on this list that's not pictured here, I'm a little bit iffy about him. But these two, they don't deserve to be on that list. I'm sorry. They don't deserve to be on that list. So the official top 15 list is Red Auerbach, Larry Brown, Chuck Daly, Red Holtzman, Phil Jackson, Casey Jones, Steve Kerr, Don Nelson, Greg Popovich, Jack Ramsey, Pat Riley, Doc Rivers, Jerry Sloan, Eric Spoelstra, and Lenny Wilkens. Now, I'll be honest with you. Don Nelson is the all-time winningest coach, I believe, still. I don't think Popovich has passed him yet. But I guess off the strength of the fact that he's the all-time winningest coach, I guess you have to put Don Nelson there. Eric Spoelstra's iffy. I don't know about him being a top 15 all-time coach. He's a really good coach, but top 15, I don't know about that. But these two motherfuckers right here, Doc Rivers and Steve Kerr, they don't belong on this list, man. First of all, Steve Kerr truly inherited a great team in the Warriors. And the year after Kevin Durant left, he got exposed. When Kevin Durant left and Klay Thompson went down with injuries, he got exposed as a bad coach. All of these 50-point losses, 30 points blown out in the first quarter, constantly getting out coached. You know, having a super stacked team couldn't mask no longer his coaching deficiencies. He didn't have a stacked team, and as a result, the Warriors was one of the worst teams in the NBA the year after Kevin Durant left. Now, even with Steph Curry back, the team failed to make the playoffs. Right now, I know some people say, "Well, what about Phil Jackson?" I mean, Phil Jackson inherited stacked teams, right? Well, this is the difference, though. There's something to be said about that. It is. There's something to be said about Phil Jackson going to teams that had all-time great players. But before Phil Jackson went to each of those teams, they weren't winning shit. They weren't winning a damn thing. Michael Jordan was putting up a lot of points, and the Bulls were a really good team, but were they a championship team before Phil Jackson got there? No. The Lakers with Kobe and Shaq were a really good team, but they kept getting their ass beat by either the fucking Utah Jazz or the the San Antonio Spurs. When Phil Jackson became the head coach, that's when they became a great championship level team. And even the years when Michael Jordan was gone, and then the next year when Horace Grant left, the Bulls were still a team to be reckoned with. You know, nobody, nobody thought when Michael Jordan left in '93 that the Bulls were going to win 55 games. Most people, most experts said without Michael Jordan there, they're going to win maybe 40 games. And they defied expectations because Phil Jackson actually showed that he could coach. He could actually make adjustments and coach. So I understand younger fans saying, younger people, well, I'm just not in. I don't see what's so great about him. He had all these great players. I get that. I do think in some instances, Phil is a little overrated. but he's called the greatest coach. He's the most successful coach because he won 11 championships. But as far as the greatest X's and O's coach, I wouldn't put him there, but he's definitely up. He's definitely a top 10 all time coach, just from a coaching standpoint. You know, but Steve Kerr, no. 8 years, no. Yes, he's won 3 championships as a head coach, but he is not a top 15 all time coach. Doc Rivers is even more egregious pick. First of all, let me say this about Doc Rivers. Yes, he won a championship with the Boston Celtics in 2008. Yes, he did. But most people that know that team knows that the Boston Celtics were different after Tom Thibodeau left. I believe after that year, Tom Thibodeau was the defensive guru of that team. He left, and it's funny, Doc Rivers ain't won shit since. Every time you look at Doc Rivers' career, he's always getting out coached. Last year, which is more fresh in our memories. Remember, the Philadelphia 76ers, a team that should have at least went to the Eastern Conference Finals, lost in the semis to Atlanta Hawks team that they had no business losing to. How many times in that series did we see Nate McMillan, who's not on this list, outcoach Doc Rivers? And they lost. The year before that, remember, they were up 3-1, and they lost to the Denver Nuggets. They could not stop Jamal Murray. I remember correctly, Jamal Murray kept dropping 42, 50, 37, 46, you know. Uh, yeah, and Doc Rivers lost his fucking job. Remember all those series when Doc Rivers and the Clippers, they just couldn't seal the deal against Luka, against I can't Utah. Donovan Mitchell was going. Remember every fucking series, a motherfucker was going off on them. Whether it was Luka dropping a 45-point triple double or Donovan Mitchell dropping 50, 46, 44. When he was with the Clippers and it was Chris Paul and DeAndre Jordan, they lost to a Rockets team, blowing a 3-1 lead once again. And I think for most of that comeback, James Harden wasn't playing. I think he was hurt or something. And then, of course, remember Orlando, they blew that lead to the Pistons. I don't see this guy as a top 15 all time coach. You know who should be on this list? I understand he didn't have the greatest win percentage at 46%. But I just did a video about him. He just passed away. Where is Bill Fitch on this list? Where is Bill Fitch? He was in the Larry Brown mode. Larry Brown mode. He was a coach that went to bad franchises and took on the challenge of turning bad teams around. Whether you're talking about the Cleveland Cavaliers in the 1970s, who went on that Cinderella run, I think it was in 1970, what was it, 78, when they went all the way to the Eastern Conference Finals against the Washington Bullets. Then he went to Boston, won a championship with Larry Bird there, turned that team around with a 32 game improvement. Then he goes to Houston, takes that team to the finals in '86. He turns around to New York at the time, excuse me, the New Jersey Nets. Last coaching stint, he helped turn around the Clippers, who were a horrible team, only won 15 games, had them becoming a 40-win team, go to the playoffs. Remember, in 1998, Bill Fitch was voted by the NBA a top 10 all-time coach. Now, magically, he's not on this fucking list. Where's John Cundler, the coach of the first dynasty, Minneapolis Lakers? 5 championships. The late, great John Cundler lived to be 101 years old, died just a few years ago. Where's John Cundler? Oh, I forget, They coached so long ago, it don't matter, It don't matter because the players they coached are dead or a long time ago. It don't matter, You gotta show love to this generation of coaches. These coaches don't even have the same power the coaches of the past had. Hell, you could even argue that Hubie Brown should be on this list, even though he didn't win a lot of games because he went to bad teams with you know, a long time ago, man, great coaches took upon the challenge of trying to turn around bad teams. Great coaches often went to bad teams to try to turn them around. Now everybody's concerned about their numbers. Coaches too, they want to go to winning franchises so that their win percentage stays high. You know, win percentage ain't everything. It was all about win percentage. Billy Cunningham will be on this list too. But these two do not belong on the top 15 all-time coaching list. I'm sorry. I know there's going to be some people say that Steve Kerr should be because of the win percentage. I just disagree. I don't think he's a top 15 all-time coach. He's become a better coach, but no. But tell me what you guys think.